This is Andi Purewal, Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm joined by super lightweight talent Dalton Smith here in Leeds. Dalton, firstly, how are you?
Very good as always. How are you?
I'm good, mate. It's good to see you once again. Now, I've just jumped in the queue and seen yourself and Ray doing a joint interview. Anything interesting go down? Any shared words you can let me in on?
No, nothing with no needle. Now you can see there's a lot of respect between me and Ray. I think we're real boxing men. We don't need to talk shit to build a fight up. I know he's a good fighter. He knows I'm a good fighter. That's all we need to know. We've got a good fight on Saturday, so there's no bitterness there. It's about two professionals getting in a ring.
Dalton, Ray mentioned up on stage he's waited a long time for an opportunity like this to box, whether he'd been with Matchroom already or another promoter, just waited a long time. He's mentioned inactivity as well. How key do you think that will be to work in your favour that he hasn't been as active as what you have, particularly through this pandemic period?
It's gonna work in my favour because inactivity shows. He's even said that he's not done anything for 3 years. I've been active. That's where I've been professional for 3 years. So the time Ray's not fought, I've had 10 fights. Do you know what I mean? And that's where I put my name on the professional scene in 3 years. When Ray hasn't fought. You know what I mean? So the momentum's with me, and I think that's going to show a big role.
Ray, as again he was mentioned up on stage, has a very good amateur background, as do yourself. But in the pro ranks, what have you made of him? What are you expecting to see from him, regardless of the inactivity?
It's hard to be honest, because like you said, his fights for 4 years, 4 years ago. Obviously, they always say you're only as good as your last fight, and but you look what he's achieved in the amateurs. I know that was a long time ago. It was before I was at the top in the seniors in the amateurs. So he's a good fighter. He's been in there with every style in the amateurs, just like I have. And he's seen everything there is to boxing. It's just the inactivity and stuff. I think it will play a big part.
Dalton, how much more switched on does it make you when you know about the inactivity aspect, but we've seen so many shocks during this last 2 or 3 years throughout the pandemic once again, where there's been so many upsets? How much more switched on does it make you mentally?
Mentally, I'm always switched on any fight, but these type of fights now, I'm becoming a contender for the big fights, and when you've got an opponent in front of you where it gives that little bit of fear factor there, it makes you switch on. You can't take your eye off the ball, so I've got to be switched on every second of this fight.
Dalton, obviously we knew that the British title fight between yourself and Sam Maxwell had been ordered by the British Boxing Board of Control. Since then, Sam's obviously vacated that title. Spoke to Frank Smith yesterday, who mentioned that they've put a letter in to try and make the Akeem Ennis-Brown fight. Just your kind of thoughts on that entire situation?
Yeah, you know me, I'm just laid back, and I always said to my dad and Sean, I never look past the fight what's in front of me, and it's their job to do that. So, obviously my main focus is on Ray Moylette Saturday, and then we'll discuss that after, but the British title makes me happy.
What did you make of hearing the news though that Sam had vacated? Did you expect him to do that?
Yeah, we kind of expected that, and I like Sam. I know Sam through the years, and I think it'd have been stupid for Sam to fight me. He's won a British title. I think is he 33 maybe, Sam? 32? Yeah, he's around that age. So if I beat Sam, he's got it. Where does he go from there? If Sam beats me, it's like, oh, he's beat Dalton, the young prospect. He'd be in the same position. So from a business side, it makes sense that Sam moved on. He's got to pursue his career. He's got to move on and fight for the European. He's already got the Commonwealth, the European, and push on towards bigger things. So I wish him all the best.
And as I mentioned, Frank mentioned to me, Akeem Ennis-Brown is the one that you'd like to make the fight for that vacant title. Your thoughts on yourself versus Akeem Ennis-Brown? And Manu, a lot of people thought I'd actually beaten Sam Maxwell, just didn't get the rub of the green on the scorecards. Yeah,
and another great fighter Akeem Ennis-Brown, and one what's caused awkward fights for many fighters. But looking ahead, I put a show on Saturday night. When I put a show on Saturday night, if that's who's there for the British title, then that's the fight what's to be made.
away from just get your thoughts on a few other people. Firstly, the main event, Saturday night, Martinez, Warrington 2. As I've said to everybody, I don't think it's a fight many would have expected to happen so many years down the road, especially with a world title on the line. So what is your take now? It's only a couple of days away.
It's boxing for you, isn't it? You never know what's going to happen. So I think it's going to be a great fight, but I can just see... I just fought Warrington all the way along. I was there for the Martinez-Galahad fight. Galahad was, he was cruising. He was cruising that fight. He was winning easily. He didn't have any problems at all. It was just that it was a case of switched off and he got caught with a shot. That's boxing. So, but I just think Warrington. I think it's going to be. It's not going to be an easy fight. I think it will go the distance, but I just think Warrington becomes a 2-time world champion.
I'll just get your thoughts on your campmate. Sonny Edwards, first and foremost, defended his IBF title successfully past weekend. Just your reaction to his brilliant display.
It's unbelievable. Sonny Edwards, isn't it? He's unbelievable. And I was saying that before in an interview. Sometimes I'll get a little bit tense when some of the lads are fighting in the gym. Obviously because I want them to win. But I was driving. I watched it on TV. Sonny's fighting. I just put the TV on, casual as anything. It's like, oh, Sonny's fighting. And I just have a feeling when I watch Sonny fight, he's like I'm going to watch him spar. The way he makes sparring look easy is the way he fights. And that's just Sonny. He's a natural. He's so talented.
What can you tell me about the sparring with Galal Yafai and Sonny?
Unreal sparring, unreal, and it's a very good fight I'd like to see down the line. Two lads will have a lot of time. Obviously, Sonny, my gym mate, and Galal and his brothers. Obviously, from the GB days, they're lovely kids, and it's obviously from watching the spars they must have been done like 40 rounds in the gym. So, but yeah, I can see that being a fight down the line. Sonny's always put his teasers out there as he does, but no, that'll be a great fight down the line.
Away from that, Junaid Bostan made his pro debut recently successfully as well. Just your thoughts on Junaid's performance and win?
He's another one, and Junaid is the most talented we've ever had in our gym. And I think it's going to be time will tell if he keeps a good head on his shoulders, stays switched on. And he's as professional as he is through his career, he's going to be a superstar, that kid. He really is, and it's very rare to say stuff like that. Like Junaid is arguably he is the most talented kid coming out of our gym. I'm just excited to see how he progresses in the pro career, but if he listens to my dad, keeps the right people around him, he's going to go far, that kid.
Just a final topic which has sprung to mind, Dalton, as it happened in your division only again a few weeks ago. We saw the Taylor Cattrall fight. A lot of fallout since then. Just your take on, again, that fight, the fallout, and where things currently stand with Josh looking most likely to move up to 147, Jack hoping he gets a vacant title shot. Just your thoughts on that entire situation.
I thought it was a great fight. I thought my thoughts on the fight before, I thought Taylor would have probably got a wide points win for that, or maybe a late stoppage. But I watched the fight and Jack put a clinical performance in, and I like both fighters, but for me, Cattrall won, and you've got to be honest sometimes. For me, Jack Cattrall won. I didn't think it was Josh's best performance. I think it would be the right move for him to move up, and you could see how big he was out there in the ring. But from obviously coming off how the decision went, Jack Cattrall, he should get the number one spot for the next if the titles become vacant.
Right, Dalton, we'll leave that there now because I'm sure there's a couple of other people waiting to speak to you before you go off and enjoy the rest of your day before waiting tomorrow. So as always, it's a pleasure. Thank you for speaking to me.
Definitely, thank you.